One Husqvarna 353 piston, turned down. I'm going to have to take some off the top too. But first, let's see if this fits in the bore. Cutting the top now. Leaving a little pop up in there, in the middle there. Have to take 55 thousandths off of it. Or actually 53 thousandths. Alright, that's a failure. See if you can see why. Can you tell? I tried to fix it, but my lathe is just not precise. I'm telling you what. And that and I don't know what I'm doing. I about halfway know. And that's too thin right there anyways. But that happened because I tried to fix it. I tried to take a little more off to straighten it. Anyways. So that's not going to work. If you're wondering out there, why will this not work? Well, the explosion will put awkward pressure, I believe. I mean, maybe somebody out there is like, nah, that's no problem, run it. But the explosion, I believe, will want to rock the piston back and forth. And this will lead to binding. So, failure. So, I'm going to have to, I'll just buy another one of these pistons and use it, because I can make this work if I can do everything perfectly. What I need is, I got the diameter just right. I've been writing down all my numbers here. The diameter of the Poland piston was 1.7460. And that piston slapped. We had piston slap with that. So, the Husqvarna piston, here it was this size. So we had 67.5 thousandths that we had to remove from the Husqvarna piston. Wait a minute. No, not 67. 21.5. Sorry. 460 minus 675. So we had 21.5 thousandths to remove from a Husqvarna 353 piston. And that's perfectly fine. That's a doable thing. I took the ring here, and I literally took my grinder there and I ground the middle of these, and I even put another hump thing in, reliefs for the pin right here. And now I think that I may have gotten the gap a little too wide. I got it at 21 thousandths of an inch. Anyways, but all of this stuff is just, I mean, tell me if that's too much of a ring gap. Actually, whenever I got it in there, man, it was so tight. It was really tight. Running a ring like this that's sized bigger than the cylinder may be a bad idea, even if I can get the ring gap perfect. So, if you guys know better than I do, please tell me. Put it in the description. I'm definitely going to have to do this over again, even though, man, I got it just right. I nailed it. So, it is, so the old Poland piston was 174.60. I got this one, well, let me measure it. Actually, I think I got it a little bit too small now that I think about it, but it feels good going in there. 174.50, 45, 174.60. Yeah, I did get a hair too small, but I mean, it feels good. I think it would have worked. Good enough to try at least. But yeah, I'll have to start over on this. Got to get another Husqvarna 353 piston. This is an 028 Super. I was going to use it, but it's just way too tall. It's way too tall. The difference between this piston and the original Poland piston was only 88 thousandths of an inch. God, that's so close. Yeah. And this sits just a hair higher. Anyways, I don't know, maybe it's fine. Maybe I should just say to hell with it and run it. Squish would be weird, but maybe that's not a big deal. I'm going to put it together and see. Okay, so it's in there. The ring on this, the ring gap is right there in the middle of the intake. I was worried about that, but there we go. There's bottom dead center right there. And that ring gap does not in any way come close to the top of your intake there. So we're good there. We're golden. And right there at the top, we're hitting. It's that pop-up that I made. I've either got to make the pop-up smaller or just remove the pop-up altogether. So I think I'm going to real quick... I guess I'll just take some off the pop-up, make it smaller, a little bit of this or that, and then throw it back in. Well, I screwed the pooch on that one. Check it out. I just literally grabbed the wrong handle, and I turned it too far, and it turned it right down into my little pin. Oh well. But now it does fit, and this pop-up is not too high. Actually, I never checked it with a spark plug in, but I'm certain that it's not too high. But the squish now is like at 56 thousandths with this piston, so that's not going to work. All right. So, I mean, worst case scenario, I have the original piston here, and I can run it. However, I feel like it needs new rings, and this has the thin rings, and you can't get these anymore. And so, parts. Having a hard time with parts. Yeah, I get it. It's probably not the best saw to work with. But, you know, whatever. I'm having fun. So, I am going to go ahead and order me a piston. Because I think that I can make this piston work without cutting the base of that cylinder. Why is that important, you may ask? Well, because it's as hard as it is to find a piston, it's harder to find a cylinder for these things. So, and you know, I've already tried it out. This is the cylinder. This came off of my Johnsonred 2153, right? And I put a 346 XP piston and cylinder on it. And, it was a Johnsonred 2152, my bad. But anyways, so I figure if I can make this work, then I can make a 346 XP cylinder work. And if I can make a 346 XP cylinder work, well, everybody knows that that's it. As far as race saws go, right now, unless the Echoes can best them, the 346 XP is the top dog for building a 50cc race saw. So, anyways, this video got nothing accomplished other than trial and error, and there'll be a lot of that, I'm certain. So, but what I was going to say is, yeah, this is the again the 353 cylinder. And it will go in place. There's enough meat for me to weld these stud holes shut and drill and tap new holes that will match up for this cylinder. What I would have to do, though, is I'd have to cut those cylinder skirts off because they're not going to fit down in there. But who cares? It's a race saw. The whole purpose of something like this is speed in the moment. Longevity has nothing to do with it. So, I mean, yeah, you don't want it to break down, but you know, this cylinder right here, who knows how much life it's got on it, you know, and it doesn't have those skirts. Will those skirts, are they better? Sure, of course. At least I think they are. But necessary? Nah. Anyways, all right. There you have it. See ya. And, you know, wish me luck. If you have any advice, please give it, because I'm learning this stuff. All right, later.